Okay, I want to go in this video into a couple of things in more detail. One is when you schedule, in order to enable and use the scheduling options, you need to go into your admin for your website, and you need to set up normally what's called a cron job. I'm not sure what they call it on Windows if you're using Windows, but scheduled task or something to that effect. But chances are most of the people that would be using this script are going to be installing it on a PHP Linux type of platform, Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, also abbreviated as LAMP. So if that's the case, you're also probably in a lot of cases using something called cPanel, and whatever web interface you have for managing your hosting account, look for something called a cron job, C-R-O-N. And what you need to do is you need to get the URL of your installation. And if I go into admin here, you'll see it kind of tells you what it is. In this case, it shows, HTTP, username and password. You replace username and password with whatever the username and password is you've put on this folder at, then the domain name, and then the path to the script. And then finally, the key thing after that is a question mark, and then the CMD, abbreviation for command, equals cron send. So you should be able to pretty much copy and paste this into your as the URL. Again, replacing username and password, username colon password with whatever username is, colon, and then the password. But more specifically, the command you want to run, it isn't just this URL. You want to run a command called wget, and we flag it with this option. It's 2 dashes and the word quiet, and what that does is it turns off all the output. Otherwise, you're going to get an email every time it runs. So if you set it up to run every 5 minutes, you'll get an email every 5 minutes if you don't have this in there. So wget space 2 dashes, the word quiet, followed by another space, followed by the URL of this particular script as formatted here. But again, username and password is replaced with your actual username and password, whatever that may be. So if you follow that format, it should work. And then I recommend setting it up to run, I would say no more than every 5 minutes. There's no need to have it run every minute. As far as I'm concerned, but every 5 minutes should be fine. So look in your web host for those settings for the cron jobs or scheduled tasks, and have it call this command once every 5 minutes or so. You could even go less than that, once every 10 minutes, and that would be fine. And you could even have it run between certain hours. If you get specific, like you don't want to accidentally send or schedule a message to be delivered, say, at midnight. You might have some irritated people on your list. So you could limit your list to run between, say, hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., and that way you avoid any mistakes like that. So let's say you accidentally scheduled a job for, 6 a.m. and you meant to send it at 6 p.m. It wouldn't actually run until you told it to run, which was at 9 a.m. It would see that, oh, we have a job scheduled at 6 a.m. It's now 9 a.m. I better go ahead and send that. So that's how that would work. There's some more CSS settings down here that you can play with. If you want to change the color of the background of the page, that's this right here. For example, gray would be all C's, or 6 C's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You save that, and it'll change the background to gray. Also, in order to enable this admin function here, you need to create a user on the folder called admin, or at least it starts with admin. It could be admin1, admin underscore your name, whatever. As long as it begins with the word admin and you log into your folder as admin, it will expose these links down here and all these admin settings. But when your user logs in with their username and password, they would not actually see this. So that covers the admin features and hopefully setting up the cron jobs and that type of thing.